Today, let's dive straight into discussing the Detroit Lions because, quite frankly, this team might just be the best in the entire NFL. Sitting at an impressive 15-2 record with the top seed, the Lions have been playing some incredible football all season long. But to be honest, many thought they were on a slight decline in recent weeks, even though they kept finding ways to win. However, after their latest game against the Minnesota Vikings, it's clear that the Lions have come into their own, playing some of their best football this year. The way they dominated one of the best teams in the league was a clear statement. It may sound crazy, but the Vikings and the Lions are in the same division, and both had a 14-2 record heading into this game. You don't become a 14-2 team without being a top-tier squad. To see the Lions go out there and absolutely dominate from start to finish was exactly what we needed to see. We saw the offense grow more comfortable throughout the game against a great defense, and the defense played at an elite level as well. If they can do this against the Vikings, then they are truly capable of slowing down any offense they face in the playoffs. With that said, the Lions have a bye week coming up, and I genuinely believe they're only going to get better from here. And with the playoffs right around the corner, they're going to need to build upon this momentum. But before we get into what I think the Lions will bring to the table post-bye, if you're into NFL content, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos during the remainder of this exciting season. Now back to the Detroit Lions. This team has just come off an enormous win over the Minnesota Vikings with a final score of 31-9. That score alone really paints the picture of just how dominant the Lions were. From the very first snap, it felt like the Lions were the superior team, even with 2 turnovers in the game, something that's rare for them. Usually the Lions do a great job of protecting the football, so to see them commit 2 turnovers and still come out with a dominant performance was incredibly promising. In the future, I expect the Lions to continue limiting turnovers, which will make them an even more dangerous team going forward. Speaking of the offense, let's start by discussing the key player, Jared Goff. Goff has had an outstanding season, and even though he threw 2 interceptions in this game, his performance was still top-notch. Excluding those turnovers, Goff essentially played a perfect game, leading the Lions to victory. His accuracy was incredible, completing over 80% of his passes while throwing a touchdown pass as well. He was extremely efficient throughout the game, going through his reads quickly and releasing the ball fast. By the end of the game, Goff had the Vikings defense on its heels with no answer for his passing attack, and that's what makes this offense so dangerous. When Goff is playing like this, it opens up opportunities for his weapons to shine. And speaking of those weapons, the Lions wide receiver core is stacked. St. Brown has been phenomenal all season long, continuing to deliver game after game. Alongside him, Sam Laporta had an excellent performance, and Jameson Williams has been stepping up as well, especially towards the tail end of the season. And let's not forget about Tim Patrick and Khalif Raymond, both of whom have proven to be vital contributors. With so many options, defenses can't focus on just one player, making it nearly impossible to stop the Lions' aerial attack. Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator, does an excellent job utilizing all these weapons in various ways to create mismatches and confuse opposing defenses. As long as Goff continues to distribute the ball efficiently and accurately, this offense will continue to make big plays and score points consistently, as they did against a tough Vikings defense, which is one of the best in the league at defending the pass. But the offense doesn't just stop at the passing game. The Lions also boast a strong run game led by the talented rookie Jahmyr Gibbs. Early in the season, Gibbs split carries with David Montgomery, but with Montgomery sidelined due to injury, Gibbs has taken on the primary workload, and he's thriving. Against the Vikings, one of the best defenses in the league, Gibbs ran for nearly 140 yards, averaging 6 yards per carry, while also scoring 3 touchdowns on the ground. Additionally, Gibbs contributed 30 receiving yards and another touchdown in the passing game. His ability to make big plays on every touch makes him a huge threat for opposing defenses. With Gibbs, you never know if the Lions will hand it off to him or fake the run and hit a play-action pass. This dual threat capability keeps defenses guessing, and when they focus on stopping one aspect of the offense, the other part will take advantage. It's a deadly combination, and it's why I believe the Lions have one of the best overall offenses in the NFL. To put it into perspective, The Lions currently rank among the top 3 teams in the league in total yards per game, passing yards per game, and are in the top 10 in rushing yards per game. As a result, they lead the NFL in points scored per game. With such a potent offense, it's hard to imagine any defense slowing them down, and that's why I believe the Lions are primed to make a deep playoff run. Scoring 30 points a game with a defense as talented as theirs makes them a legitimate threat to win any game. Now, let's talk about that defense. Going into the Vikings game, the Lions defense had shown some inconsistencies, but against Minnesota, they played one of their best games of the season, shutting down the Vikings offense for all 4 quarters. This is no small feat, as the Vikings have been able to score points against nearly every opponent they've faced. But the Lions defense was all over the Vikings from start to finish. They completely shut down the running game, and the passing game was just as ineffective. The cornerbacks were outstanding, and linebacker Alex Anzalone was a key contributor, making plays all over the field. Anzalone's impact on the defense cannot be overstated. When he's on the field, the Lions defense is much stronger in both the run game and the passing game. We saw his playmaking ability on full display against the Vikings, and I truly believe he's one of the underrated players on this defense. With him leading the charge, the Lions defense has the ability to shut down some of the best offenses in the league. But it wasn't just the secondary and linebackers that impressed me. The defensive line was equally dominant, getting after Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold all night long. Although the Lions only had 2 sacks, they pressured Darnold constantly, forcing him to rush throws and miss opportunities. I haven't seen Darnold play that poorly all season, and that speaks volumes about the Lions' defensive effort. Defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn deserves credit for his aggressive play calling, which kept the Vikings offense on its heels the entire game. Looking ahead, the Lions will be getting some key players back after the bye week, which will only make this defense stronger. With the offense firing on all cylinders and a defense that can stop top-tier offenses, the Lions are in an excellent position to make a deep playoff run. I have a lot of confidence that they can go all the way, but I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for now. I'll catch you guys in the next video.